Hello everybody. So if this is our first time meeting, hi, my name is Sarah Tasker and I am a certified coach. I specialise in creative online business owners. I spent the first decade of my working life in the NHS, in speech therapy, before my skills on Instagram meant that little app completely changed my life. Now I have a multi-six-figure business where I teach entrepreneurs and business owners just like you how to use social media to tell their story and find their customers online. Today we're going to be talking about a topic that I really think should be at the very heart of any plan or strategy for social media, and yet a lot of the time I see it's completely overlooked. That topic is value creation and the importance of delivering that value ahead of time. So what do I mean by that? Value is whatever we give our audience in exchange for their time and their attention. The more value you can create and offer for free, the more organic traction you're going to see on your social media posts and your blog content. So consider these two posts. We have an Instagram post where you show your product if you're not product-based business, just imagine for a minute, and it's in that nice professional white background catalogue kind of shot. Your caption might read something like, "Our new ceramic mugs are handmade in Wales and they're back in stock." Now, let's compare that to a post like this. Same mug, but now it's in this cozy, inspiring scene. And this time, our caption reads, 3 tips for less manic mornings. 1. Play a calming podcast while you shower and dress. 2. Swap your high caffeine coffee for a gentle tea in your favourite mug. And 3. Note the areas of friction, problems or stress on a piece of paper and vow to tackle them this evening when you get home so they don't crop up again tomorrow. Handmade Welsh ceramic mugs are available in our web shop, link in bio. Which one of these two posts do you think is more valuable, and which one are you currently more likely to post? We're going to come back and answer those questions together a little bit nearer the end. To understand the importance of value, I think we need to be really clear on how all the social media platforms are working. So whether it's Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or anywhere else, all our social networks are constantly evaluating all the millions of posts that are being shared every minute and deciding what's going to be worth their users' time and attention. Now, obviously, that would be an impossible task for humans to keep up with, so they use artificial intelligence to do the job, and in particular, they have a series of algorithms. To use Instagram as an example, we know the algorithms there are always looking for the most interesting and relevant content to display to any user at any one time. They've put this information out there, so you don't just have to take my word for it. Here are some examples. But how do they measure these things? On that topic, they are a little bit more tight-lipped, but we can definitely make some accurate guesses based on what we already know about how other sites like Facebook work. Interest and relevance on Instagram is gauged by some things you might expect, like number of likes and comments, for example, but it's also by some factors that a lot of people miss. How long someone spends on your post, for example. Are they just flicking over and spending a few seconds before flicking back? Or are they spending a good few seconds looking at your post? Are they lingering to read the caption? Or if it's a carousel post, are they swiping through to look at each slide? Are they sharing it with their friends? Are they hitting that little bookmark icon to save the post so that they can find it again in future? And where do they go after viewing your post? Is it to your profile? Are they looking at more of your work? Is it to your website, or is it right back again to their home feed where they're going to see everyone else's content and your post is likely to be forgotten again? If you perform well in these algorithm monitored areas, Instagram decides your post is interesting and relevant and starts to show it to more people. Your followers will see it on their home feed, and even people who don't follow you might start to see it popping up on their explore page or in some of their searches. And if they, in turn, also spend a lot of time lingering on your post and sharing it and saving it, maybe coming to your profile and following you as a result of seeing it, then your post is going to get pushed out even further, and the cycle is going to continue and continue for quite some time. So whenever we're posting to social media, we really want to be crafting our content to trigger these kind of behaviors in the people who see our posts. And the way that we do that is through value. So what even is this value business anyway? What I love about this concept is that it's really wide open for you to take it and make it mean whatever fits best for you and your business. So it can be about creating content that's entertaining or funny or inspiring or educational. It can be interesting or emotive or thought-provoking or just plain useful. It can be everything from a poignant quote to a hilarious parenting fail to a recipe suggestion to a vacuum cleaner review. The only real requirement for a post to count as valuable is that it gives your viewers something to take away with them into the rest of their day. Valuable posts are generous. They put the viewer first instead of our desire to sell or to self-promote. Value is just about making people's clicks worth their time, and so value is how we can win in the attention economy that we're all working in online. So let's consider those two examples from earlier again. Which do you think is the more valuable of the two? Hopefully by now you're on the same page as me and seeing that it's the latter. That picture is cozy, it's inspiring, it definitely gives us something from the caption and the picture that we can take away with us and think about in the rest of our day. Now, some of you might be thinking, wait, but that first one is still valuable too. I mean, it tells people that my cups are available and that they're made in Wales, they're back in stock. And that is all true. For someone who already knows that they want to buy one of your cups and maybe has been waiting on that restock, then the post and the caption are exactly what they need to come over and buy. So I'm not telling you that there's never a place and time for posts like this. I'm just asking, what about everybody else? What about the billions of people on Instagram who don't yet know how a lovely handmade ceramic mug might improve their life a little bit? Or the people who don't follow you yet because the algorithm has never shown them a single one of your slightly catalogue style posts? The people who might not want a mug right now, but in another month, they might be doing their Christmas shopping and look back through their saved posts or at the people they follow and get some inspiration. How does that first post offer any kind of value to those people? Now, if you're with me so far, you might be starting to wonder, how do I even know what's valuable to my customers or my audience? It's a really important question, and it's one that's worth considering in advance because there is no point offering this amazing value via free vegan recipes if your main product is going to be leather boots, for example. I actually had one client who came to me with a huge email list. She'd done this amazing job of building it using free children's colouring pages as a freebie that she gave away. But when she tried to launch her business and her coaching services, unsurprisingly, it kind of fell flat. We need to create value mindfully with our target customers in mind. Who are your products or services for, and how can you be of service to these people? What are their problems or the questions that you might help solve? What might they just find solidarity with you over? And what makes them laugh? And if you're not clear on any of this, I really recommend spending some time drawing up a target customer avatar for yourself, for your business, maybe looking back at some of your past customers, going through the database, even a little bit of online snooping, just to get a really solid sense of who they are. As a general rule, our customers are usually a lot like us. They just don't have our knowledge or our skill set. Maybe they're where we were about 3 to 5 years ago. So then, once you've got some ideas for what the audience might like to see, it's really just a question of trying and improving and trying again. Sadly, there's no secret formula here. You just have to think of ideas, try them out. Some you'll think are brilliant and they'll just fall a bit flat, and others will explode with engagement beyond any of your wildest expectations. So you need to keep experimenting and pay attention to what works. This is honestly one of the most powerful forms of market research that's out there. Putting out your best guesses into the world, evaluating the response they get, and doing even better next time. So I used to blog about everything from recipes to parenting, interiors, flowers, but I also wrote some posts about how I used Instagram. And those were the posts that blew up consistently. So I used that to guide me into developing that whole side of my brand. And now teaching social media and Instagram is pretty much my full-time job. I would never have found that if I wasn't willing to try a whole range of things and offer all of that value ahead of time. So what might your customers want or need that you haven't even tapped into yet? I don't know of any better way to find out than to just get stuck in. So a really simple way to think about this is to consider the difference between a magazine and a catalogue. So catalogues we usually get for free. They're given away by the company in order to get us to look at their products and hopefully to decide to buy. So think of something like the Argos book. But a magazine we pay money to read, even though really, if you look at it, it's still just as chock-a-block with advertisements. So why? What's the difference? I would argue that the difference is in the value that the magazine offers alongside all of that promo. That's why you might notice stores like Waitrose have gone to the trouble of creating a whole magazine that seems to just offer seasonal recipes and craft ideas out of the goodness of their heart. But woven into every single page is their products, so that even though they might make a loss on printing, glossy magazines are really expensive to make, it results in so much return custom, brand loyalty, and eventually more sales. Whenever we approach our blog or our social media content, we want to be thinking more like a magazine than a catalogue. So instead of using it simply as a way to show product after product, look for a way to create a whole lifestyle around your brand. What content would be interesting to people who you're looking to attract? If your product or service was going to appear in a magazine, what do you think the surrounding articles and features would talk about? What would the photos in that magazine show? And what would the readers learn and think and feel when they read it? So we've talked about why value matters in terms of algorithms and getting ourselves seen online. But there's actually a whole other huge bonus to this approach whenever we can offer our value ahead of time. When we provide that value for free to the people visiting our page or on our following lists or on our mailing lists, we give them a tiny taster of the service they'll receive if they decide to buy from us. We basically give them a chance to experience firsthand how our products or services could make them feel better, and we begin to build that relationship of reciprocal trust. So if I follow a productivity coach on Instagram, for example, and her free tips help me claw back some extra time in my day, I am much more likely to trust her expertise enough to invest in one of her one-to-one paid packages down the line. The blogger who consistently makes me laugh with her tweets is probably going to get my click over to that latest blog post, and when her newly released book comes out, I'll probably pre-order it. And the children's clothing brand that gave me those ideas for how I could celebrate bonfire night in lockdown with my daughter are going to be the first place I think of when she needs a new winter coat. Giving away value ahead of time to our customers means you never need to go into a hard sell, because every post feels kind of like a tiny gift. Nothing shows people how much you or your products can actually help them like already helping them in advance in tiny regular doses. No questions, no objections, no niggling doubts. So many people feel like they need to keep their best work under lock and key, but letting people experience a taste of our value ahead of time means they come to know and believe in your work, and it's kind of a guaranteed recipe for fast and powerful growth. So finally, to finish, I wanted to leave you with some questions that you could use anytime you want to check in with whether you're really offering value for your audience with your content online. Is it self-serving, or is it of service to others? Is this post valuable even to somebody who's not looking to buy from you right now? Is this relevant or helpful to my target customers? Would I like or save this post if I saw it on my feed? And does this fit best in a catalogue or in a magazine? I really hope this has been helpful and given you some ideas and inspiration to take away. Remember, there are zero rules when it comes to creating value, and the more fun you can make it, the more creative and full of generosity, then the more sustainable it's going to be for you and your business, so that this strategy can keep serving you and stay a mainstay in your business in the long term. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon online.